No somos Justin.
With all focus zeroed in on this massive White House event, Topuria is elevating his game to championship levels, perfecting every technique like his legacy depends on it. This bout represents more than another title defense, it's the type of defining moment that transforms careers in an instant. However, facing him stands Topuria-Gaethje, an absolute destroyer who thrives on dragging fighters into hellish wars and turning each moment into savage brutality. The MMA community finds itself completely divided on this clash. Many are riding with Topuria, betting on his technical mastery and unwavering self-belief, while others back Gaethje's vicious, relentless approach that has demolished countless elite fighters previously. It's tactical brilliance meeting raw savagery, and when the cage door locks, only one philosophy will emerge victorious.
People say he comes across as a superstar, that he walks the walk, he talks the talk, he's got the big sponsorships. I see a lot of support for him too.
Yeah, he has his own fan base, but like he feels he behaves like he's untouchable and like he's superstar, but he's not. And I'm gonna bring him back on the earth.
Do you think if he beats Justin Gaethje on June 14th, do you think he will accept a fight against you?
No, he's gonna move up.
Really? Is that what you know or what you feel?
Feel.
What do you think the UFC wants?
UFC wants probably him to move up as well.
Why?
For the big fight versus Islam Makhachev.
Chael Sonnen isn't questioning Roy Jones Jr.'s legendary status whatsoever. He's challenging the strategy behind the timing, which raises legitimate red flags. Sonnen examines this partnership and wonders why Gaethje would connect with someone like Jones when mere days remain before facing Topuria. During this critical phase, attempting to integrate fresh tactics or alter established patterns can backfire spectacularly, particularly with such limited preparation time remaining. Elite expertise like Roy Jones Jr. possesses doesn't magically download overnight. Real integration demands extensive time to properly develop and demonstrate actual results, especially when cutting it this close. Sonnen emphasizes that his concerns aren't about Jones's ability to contribute valuable insight, because that's undeniable. The real question centers on whether sufficient time exists for any of that wisdom to genuinely impact performance when championship pressure reaches its absolute peak.
Roy Jones Jr. is going to get Justin Gaethje knocked out. Let me tell you why. Roy Jones Jr. has offered to work with Justin Gaethje ahead of Justin's fight at the White House against Ilia Topuria. Now, I got to tell you, I'm what you would call a Roy Jones Jr. mark. I love him. I've always loved him. I think he is great. I have always thought that he was great. But conceptually, this is of interest to me. For the main reason, that fight is in June. And we're nearing the end of April. So conceptually.
Now Sonnen drives the discussion deeper, targeting the fundamental problem head-on. He's demanding answers about whether Roy Jones Jr. genuinely thinks that during this phase, a veteran like Gaethje can absorb completely new material and deploy it effectively with only 6 weeks remaining against an opponent like Topuria. This represents massive risk-taking, particularly when everything meaningful hangs in the balance. For someone like Gaethje, Success isn't about layering additional techniques onto his existing arsenal this close to fight night. Victory comes from refining what already exists, perfecting the weapons he's relied upon throughout his career, and maximizing their devastating potential. However, here lies the fascinating contradiction. Gaethje possesses that elite wrestling background. Despite this foundation, repeatedly he chooses absolute mayhem over tactical control, almost like he deliberately avoids playing things conservatively, regardless of his opponent's capabilities.
And also conceptually, does the greatest boxer of all time, Roy Jones Jr., disagree with me? Does he believe that a fighter at the highest level, don't forget Justin Gaethje is an interim world champion fighting for an undisputed world championship, does Roy Jones Jr. believe a fighter at the highest of levels can learn something new, something that he could implement in a live situation 6.5 weeks before competition? That would be something very interesting, particularly with somebody as stubborn as Justin Gaethje, by the way. I mean, you got a lot of words you could use to describe Justin Gaethje. Dynamic and exciting, and your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. You can do all of these things, but you could also throw stubborn in there. Justin Gaethje is an NCAA Division I All-American who has never wrestled inside the octagon.
Beyond all these factors, Demetrious Johnson contributes a razor-sharp perspective that adds serious depth to this matchup analysis. He focuses on Gaethje's mental approach, emphasizing how supremely confident he remains, practically dismissing whatever advantages or dangers his opponents possess, treating them like minor inconveniences. Johnson emphasizes that Gaethje possesses this relentless fighting spirit, an unbreakable determination that continuously advances regardless of what unfolds inside that octagon. Yet when Johnson examines the obstacle now standing before him in Topuria, he recognizes a completely different category of challenge. This won't be a battle where pure mental toughness alone determines the outcome. Facing someone as technically sound and strategically brilliant as Topuria means every single movement must be perfect. Every choice must be flawless, otherwise everything can crumble instantly. This encounter demands more than applying pressure. It requires championship-level execution when stakes reach their absolute highest.
One of the main goals of this podcast, I wanted to walk through the UFC White House card. I want to get Mighty's opinion with Bisping, and I want to see what you guys think, who would win and why. Kick it off with the champion, Ilia Topuria, fighting for the lightweight title against the interim title champion, Justin Gaethje. Mighty Mouse, what do you think?
I like that fight. I think it's a great fight. I think, after spending a little bit of time with Justin Gaethje at the Celebrity Football, the way he was fighting Patty Pillman, I was kind of confused. It's like, you kept circling his power. Then when you talked to him, he was like, he didn't hit hard. Patty doesn't hit hard. He can't kick. His footwork sucks ass.
Jesus.
So
yeah, that's why I just kind of went,
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, well, all right. And then, him fighting Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria is probably one of the most technical, sound athletes that I've seen in mixed martial arts, meaning that his cadence of a rhythm when he boxes, when he hits pads, everything he does is strategic, right? And so
it's also surgical.
The
precision is perfect. There's no telegraph. There's no openings.
Yeah.
He sets things up. The timing is ridiculous.
Yep.
And then of course combine that with the power that he has.
Johnson continues dissecting this like a master analyst, revealing layers that casual observers completely overlook. He describes how even world-class competitors possess this concealed fighting IQ that becomes visible only when they break down their rapid-fire decision-making during intense scrambles. It transcends pure instinct, it's strategic thinking operating at lightning speed during combat. The picture becomes clearer now. Following his conversations with Gaethje, Johnson recognizes they share identical mental frameworks, staying completely focused, understanding precisely what must happen during crucial exchanges, recognizing opportunities instantly, and executing aggressive moves regardless of incoming counterattacks. This type of supreme confidence isn't accidental. It develops through years of experience and complete faith in your abilities. But regarding Topuria, Johnson offers a bolder forecast. He suspects this fight might change directions without warning. Rather than Gaethje dictating the violence, Topuria could be the fighter who seizes control and delivers the stunning finish everyone remembers.
Yeah, and Ilia Topuria can take a shot, and there's me talking to Justin Gaethje about that. So when I talked to him about that, I never want to give I feel like every athlete has a high IQ, but when you actually get a chance to talk to them and see like, why did you circle that, right? Like, oh, you took that option because you knew he didn't have an answer for you there. So he's gonna sit back, look at what Ilia Topuria does well, which is everything, and he's gonna find out where can he fight him. You know what? I think if I'm not rolling dice, if I have to make a pick, I got Ilia Topuria winning by knockout because that's just what he does. And I know Justin Gaethje, is Justin Gaethje going to wrestle? Is he going to kick? I'm not sure he's going to do, but I know Ilia Topuria is going to get himself in a position where he can knock out Justin.
Meanwhile, Michael Bisping abandons speculative analysis and focuses on undeniable evidence that demands attention. Ilia Topuria has already accumulated devastating victories over championship-level opponents like Volkanovski and Holloway, with each performance broadcasting the identical, powerful statement: technical excellence under extreme pressure determines fight outcomes. When intensity escalates, Topuria doesn't lose composure. He becomes more focused and strikes with pinpoint accuracy that ends contests immediately. Simultaneously, Bisping refuses to underestimate Gaethje's threat level completely. He acknowledges that Gaethje's destructive power never diminishes, regardless of punishment absorbed. He maintains forward momentum, keeping every fight dangerously competitive on any given night. This dynamic creates genuine excitement and legitimate danger for both competitors involved. But when Bisping begins analyzing actual fight footage, particularly Topuria's masterful performance against Holloway, the entire discussion transforms dramatically. Everything shifts from hypothetical scenarios toward observable evidence, flawless execution, perfect timing, and superior control that immediately catches attention.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Ilia Topuria, knocked out Volkanovski.
He knocked out everybody.
Knocked out Charles Oliveira, knocked out Max Holloway. Who did he just beat? Oh, Charles Oliveira. That was his last one. Justin Gaethje, you can't underestimate this guy.
No.
You can't underestimate him. Did he take some shots against Paddy? Yes. Is that concerning? Because, when you take into consideration the precision that I just said Topuria has, yeah, it's concerning.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and say that Justin Gaethje can't pull it off. Of course he can.
Yeah,
right?
it's a fight.
However, you look at the Max Holloway fight where he got face planted.
Now both Demetrious Johnson and Michael Bisping ground their analysis in concrete reality, creating an objective, fact-based comparison without emotional interference. They're avoiding media-driven narratives and examining what each athlete genuinely delivers during competition. Gaethje's mixed martial arts career reads like endless warfare, constant battles where he's absorbed tremendous punishment while returning devastating damage without any hesitation whatsoever. He represents the fighter willing to accept serious strikes just to land something more powerful in return, and this mentality has shaped his entire professional journey. It's brutal, it's threatening, and it remains completely unpredictable every single time. In contrast, Topuria emerges as a far more systematic, almost academic fighter in his approach. Every precise strike carries specific purpose behind it. Each combination gets constructed with clear intentions, and nothing appears wasteful or accidental. Even during grappling sequences, like his smooth reversal and positional control before returning to striking range, he demonstrates how well-rounded his skill set truly is. This isn't simply raw aggression. It's mathematical precision, with comprehensive strategy supporting every action.
Absolutely. And that's the thing I always say, when we're in this position, like, we're giving our picks. It's not that we don't have love for Justin Gaethje or Ilia Topuria. It's us sitting down as gentlemen having a discussion. I was like, okay, when we look at everything on paper,
yes,
right, and all the fights that Justin Gaethje's had, which is a lot of, you look at Justin versus Charles, Justin versus Dustin Poirier, Justin versus a lot of his guys, he's getting fucking cracked, right? And he's cracking them too.
Sure.
But each time Ilia Topuria touches somebody, for what he says, their head explodes.
It does.
Right? So.
And not just that, when Charles Oliveira tried to take him down, he won the scramble. And within seconds, had him in a crucifix.
Yes.
Had him in a crucifix. Then he got back to the feet.
Yeah.
Boom. That was it.
Yeah. So right now, he's probably the most complete athlete on the roster, displaying everything. So.
Then Arman Tsarukyan enters the discussion and immediately cranks up the intensity regarding Ilia Topuria's status. He rejects the narrative that Topuria has already reached authentic superstar level, claiming the manufactured persona doesn't align with current reality. Tsarukyan observes that Topuria conducts himself like he's completely invincible, almost as if he's already superior to every other contender in their weight class. But he remains convinced this carefully crafted image will shatter the instant they share the same competitive platform. Arman clarifies this isn't born from respect or professional admiration. He sees manufactured publicity that requires serious reality checking through violence. He's making his intentions crystal clear. declaring when they eventually clash, he plans to destroy that arrogance completely and demonstrate exactly where Topuria belongs within the legitimate hierarchy of elite competition. This transcends typical promotional chatter. It's a direct challenge aimed at championship level.
People say he comes across as a superstar, that he walks the walk, he talks the talk, he's got the big sponsorships. I see a lot of support for him too.
Yeah, he has his own fan base, but like he feels he behaves like he's untouchable and like he's superstar, but he's not. And I'm gonna bring him back on the earth.
Do you think if he beats Justin Gaethje on June 14th, do you think he will accept a fight against you?
No, he's gonna move up.
Really? Is that what you know or what you feel?
Feel.
What do you think the UFC wants?
UFC wants probably him to move up as well
Why?
for the big fight versus Islam Makhachev.
Bisping returns to the conversation, offering a more analytical, strategic perspective regarding Ilia Topuria's recent performances. He acknowledges the champion has appeared remarkably polished recently, clean, accurate, almost mechanical in how he systematically dismantles opposition forces. However, simultaneously, he suggests there might still exist specific types of challenges that Topuria hasn't been completely forced to navigate successfully yet. From Bisping's viewpoint, Arman Tsarukyan represents one of those unique stylistic problems, particularly if the contest slows significantly and evolves into an exhausting, grinding battle where superior wrestling depth, positional control, and raw physical power begin dominating proceedings. That scenario could produce very compelling results for analysis. Bisping isn't questioning Topuria's recent dominance whatsoever. He's simply posing the important question about uncharted territory. What happens when someone forces him into championship rounds, into demanding struggles he hasn't needed to solve previously? Does that same clinical technical excellence continue shining brightly, or does it face examination through completely different circumstances?
Ilia versus Arman, I think it's a great fight. And I think it's probably one of the only real tests that Ilia Topuria might have. Again, that sounds disrespectful to Justin Gaethje. He's got good power, he's got good anti-wrestling, he's got a lot of experience, but the reality is he also has a lot of miles on the clock. And Paddy Pimblett was able to connect quite a lot with Justin Gaethje with those kind of like wild uppercuts. Ilia is precise, he's clinical, he's surgical, but he's got laser beam accuracy, he's got unbelievable wrestling, right? I think he could, I don't know if he could out-wrestle Arman Tsarukyan, but he could certainly negate the wrestling. Okay, so therefore the fight remains on the feet. And yeah, Arman's quick. I mean, look at what he did, that punch-knee combination where he took him out in like 16 seconds or something like that, right? So nothing's ever a foregone conclusion in mixed martial arts. It's just not. But you got to look at the boxing of Ilia and just think, he's got the edge there. I mean, how can you say that anyone in the UFC has cleaner box?
On the opposite side, John Morgan introduces a different perspective, arguing the matchup between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje creates perfect sense when considering the event's broader significance beyond simple divisional rankings. This White House card prioritizes maximum impact, mainstream attention, and pure entertainment spectacle, making Gaethje an ideal selection because wherever he competes, absolute pandemonium follows closely behind. Morgan emphasizes that Gaethje delivers guaranteed fireworks every single appearance without exception. Victory or defeat, it's always complete warfare that never ends quietly, but explodes with unforgettable drama, which perfectly matches the electric atmosphere a spotlight event like this absolutely requires. This explains his perfect fit for main event positioning and television appeal. Nevertheless, when forced to predict the actual winner, Morgan favors Topuria once competition officially begins inside that locked cage. He considers the caliber of opponents Topuria has already defeated and the serious championship momentum driving his meteoric rise throughout the division. The evidence becomes difficult to dismiss or ignore. From his analysis, Topuria has developed into one of the most well-rounded fighters competing today at any weight class. His striking captures media headlines consistently, but his grappling quietly elevates everything to championship standards, creating this balanced skill set that poses serious problems for anyone. Morgan emphasizes that over 25 minutes of championship fighting, it becomes extremely difficult for any challenger to outperform Topuria across every aspect of mixed martial arts combat. So everything ultimately reduces to this crucial question: does Topuria continue ascending with another massive statement victory, or does Gaethje drag everything into his preferred chaos and completely flip the script when championship moments demand greatness? Share your prediction below and stay tuned for additional fight analysis and breaking news updates.